So today we're going to tell you about one of the biggest problems that men have when they start talking to Ukrainian women, aren't we? Yep.
Yes, so we're going to cover the topic that we see that almost every other client has client.
Yeah.
So it's the problem of communication and maintaining the communication.
Well, it's more specific than that, isn't it? It's about keeping her interested.
Yes, and we was thinking, how can we help and what can we advise? And we realized that it's not to keep her interested, it's to make yourself interesting. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think that there's two parts to it. One part of that is you being interesting. The other part is that she thinks you're interesting, but there's another caveat to that, is that the way that she'll think you're interesting is by making her feel interesting. It's very confusing.
It's very confusing. But the bottom line is that when you communicate with a lady, let's say you have a first call, and to be honest, no matter really where did you meet, right? Like through us or whatever. You meet the lady, and it seems that the first interaction went very well. But then there is a problem. Communication going a little bit to the level of, hello, how are you? What are you doing? How was your day? Okay, good night. And you would love it to be more in details, a little bit more interaction, but it's not. And so how can you make, and this usually happening is because you have your day, like most of the people at the moment, unfortunately, or maybe good for them, working from home. So they do not have a lot of interaction and they don't have a lot of stories to tell. And she having her routine as well, maybe she's in some European country learning German, she moved there because of the war, or maybe she's in Ukraine, she every day go to the same job and come back, so there's not much thing you can share. Yes, you go to the gym, she tells I've been at the gym, and that's it. So we decided that we want to share, first of all, some of the ideas that we saw some of our clients been doing, and that is very cool. And also we realize, and I understand also like a lot, when I recently spoke with one of our guys, and guys, that I got messages from guys, when they send me the screenshot of the correspondence with the lady, and from the ladies as well. So I'm at the position where I can help you the best way, because I know what she concerned about and I know what you concerned about. So I can help to fix it, because it's not a major issue. It's not that, the people don't like each other, or, like somebody said something bad. No, it's literally, like little confusion in between the lines. So this guy was messaging with the lady, and she sent me these messages, and she said, Luba, I really liked him at the beginning, but the conversation is just so boring. I can't read about this anymore. I don't want to make it more specific, to be honest, because I know that this guy is watching and I don't want to offend anyone, but we had this conversation with him. Basically, his conversation with her was very, very boring about his daily routine. What is he going to do in his garden? What is he going to do? He's working and then he go to the garden, and he by himself typing and saying that I'm just doing my boring life routine. So what do you think? Like, how does this lady feel? Like, is she excited to go to this man? Like, is she?
Yeah, does she want to be a part of this boring life routine, or does she want excitement and adventure?
And we understand that life is not our, but like life is not about excitement and adventure every single day. Like, honestly, it's just how you act, right? Like how you see, like you can make fun of every single thing that is happening. Just recently the lady brought some papers and Stryker found a way how to make it like entertainment and laugh about that. And
when was this?
A couple of minutes ago. What are you talking about? So it depends on the personality, of course, and not everyone can do that. But if you by yourself, with your own hands, with your own tongue, say, my life is boring, this is what you transfer, like what you reflect to the world, right? So anyone would be interested. You, first of all, need to be interested in your own life. How to do it, Stryker?
It's a tricky question, because how do you know if you're interesting or not? And how to be interesting? Because maybe you don't have much experience in life. Actually, it reminds me, recently, maybe a month ago, something like that, we had a conversation with a younger guy who wanted to use our services, and we said, no, like, you're too young, go and experience the world, get some interesting stories. Well, how do you get interesting stories? And I suggested to him, he wanted to travel, he liked traveling. I said, go to Siberia, get on a train with a backpack and travel across Europe. And I guarantee you, after you've done that for 2 or 3 weeks, you will have so many interesting stories, more than probably anybody else that you know or that you're going to come across in your life. You will lose your bag, somebody will try to steal from you, someone will try to rip something off, you will miss your train, you will get lost, you will be hungry, you don't know where to go, you end up in the wrong town. These all suck at the time, but these are all very interesting stories that you can tell to people sometimes when you meet, right? And
that is a very good point, because most of the guys on a call, they try to be nice, they try to be polite, or it's actually what they think. They say to the lady, there are so many places I want to visit, but I don't go there because I don't have a partner, I don't have a couple, I don't go there. I understand, it's true. But from other hand, why? So you kind of like you're not upgrading yourself, you kind of like putting yourself in a position like, without the partner, I'm nothing. Without partner, I'm nobody. And that is not very comfortable feeling, because woman wants to be with a man, and we speak about, leader in the relationship, we taking the masculine role in the relationship. But the guy who is literally say like, I sit at home because I just wait until there would be a woman who will come and rescue me, like doesn't make the woman interested in this man.
That is sometimes the case. And we have spotted this before in consulting calls where we feel the guy is looking to replace maybe something that's missing in his life, and we're very open about it. We say that's the wrong way to approach that, and maybe you should try going out into the world by yourself first and try and figure out things before, because if a woman can give you happiness, she can take it away. And
but
it's a very bad position to be in.
Striker from the very first video started to say, is it the word translate, but not translate in a matter of interpreting. It's like, it's what you're translating to the world, like what you're bringing, your idea. So you were saying about bringing the lady to your frame. But if you do not have any frame, where would you take her? It's like, like you've met a lady, you want to go and have sex with her. Like, I will make this example, and you say, let's go to me, like to my place. And then you think, oh, I don't have a place. It's kind of this.
I don't have any doors with locks.
Yeah, like it's like I don't. So you need to frame yourself first. You need to put yourself in this position. So we're not gonna blame you on anything. We want to give you advice how we see that what should be done, and how can you make your communication with a lady more interesting.
And I'll just say here, it's usually only up until you meet in person. So it's the first part of, if you were, well, we're just going to talk about how we do it because that's what we know. If you are. You've met you've been introduced on Zoom, and then you're communicating with each other through Skype, Viber, Telegram, or whatever. That's when it can slowly kind of get a little bit uninteresting, because you don't have that much to talk about.
Gentlemen, just wanted to invite you to our free Telegram community, where you can get in touch with me and Striker directly, talk to our other subscribers, discussing some questions, having like a little community that we built, where we share some interesting videos from daily life, some updates about the clients, about their trips, and answering all of your questions. So join the link down below, and we see you there.
Because you haven't met in person. When you meet in person, you take it to another level, because you now have done interesting things together. Maybe you traveled a little bit around Europe, maybe you came to Spain, whatever it is. These are now interesting things. So she's had those experiences, which is good. She's had them with you, which is also good. But she also knows that it's not a boring life. Because at the moment she's thinking, what is this guy doing? He sent me a message saying that he's going to learn how to bake bread today, because he's always wanted to learn how to bake bread. That's not that interesting.
It depends also how you present it, but in general, like
actually, that could be interesting.
It's interesting.
It's actually very good. You should use that one.
But what I advise to that guy, and advise to all of you, like, lady want to look at you and admire you. The same as like some guys say, I want to be proud of my woman. I want to look at her and like proud, not like that she achieved something in her career, but maybe like how she learn how to drive the car, maybe how she learned English, in a couple of months. So you want to be proud. It's a good feeling to have about your partner, I believe. So the lady also want to look at man and admire him in some ways. And when you say, my life is so boring, I just work, there's nothing interesting, you need to think, okay, wait a second. Like, James, I need to fix it. So how would you fix it? You should find something that you was always dreaming to learn how to do, but you never did. Maybe it's some kind of like martial arts. Maybe there you wanted to play guitar. Maybe you wanted to learn some, extra language or something. That maybe, like, it depends, right, of your availability and your flexibility in your daily life. So you do something and you share that with her. So for her, it's like, wow, this guy is really like, leveling up, because he's doing something, he's learning something, he is visiting something, he is achieving something. And especially how you present that. If you would say, like, when I was a kid, like, we didn't have money, but I was always dreaming about playing guitar, and so now, I decided that, like, in my 50s, in my 40s, in my 70s, whatever, I want to learn how to play guitar. Awesome. Second, Cooking, Ukrainian cuisine, different, strange, tasty, not tasty, for everybody is different. But in every single state, in every single big city, there is a Ukrainian shop. Go there, take some photos, make some friends. Tell her I've been to Ukrainian shop. Buy some piva, buy some kvass, buy some drink, something, and tell her about this. Exciting, interesting, because she will already feel that, first of all, you are closer to her country, and second is that she is already, you already know something about her culture, and that you are doing something, you are active, your life is not just sitting on a couch and working on your computer. Third, you can actually go and find Ukrainian church, like it used to call it Russian Orthodox Church, just like some community, something on Facebook or church or whatever has a lot of people. Find some holiday or come there on Sunday and meet with the people. Help them. Find some children that want to learn some English. Invest 1 hour a week, but be a volunteer for these children, teaching them English. And tell your woman, say, hey, you know what? I found such a wonderful family. Maybe it's a family. Maybe it's a group of children. Maybe there's somebody who struggles with math, but you are very good at that. Help this child. I'm sure that they live somewhere like 30, 40 minutes drive from you. And it's not so difficult to do it once a week. But imagine how your lady look at you, knowing that you have Ukrainian friends, that you're helping children. So it tells so much about you. How kind are you? How caring you are? How that you support our country. Your opportunities are endless, literally endless. People say, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know. I just sit at home. I don't have time. Everybody has time. You just need to, first of all, you need to have desire for that. And you need to stop complaining and stop moaning about that. And then you will be able to achieve. I don't want to sound rude, but it seems but I think that
you did sound a little bit rude then.
I'm sorry. And
okay.
Tell about bread. Tell them how to make bread. I didn't want to sound rude. I want
no,
to
you didn't
give...
sound rude. No. Look, everything we're saying is because, we see stuff and we want you guys to... And what Luba is saying here, we want you to have the best results. What Luba is saying here is advice because, in that first part of the relationship before you meet, and it can happen afterwards, things can go downhill because all you end up saying is, how was your day, good morning, and all that sort of stuff. This is not interesting for her. She's looking to the man to be interesting. So one thing that you can do as well, and this is one of the things that we teach the guys in Level Up, which is our coaching program. We never really talk about it. I'm not really going to talk about it here, but basically, well, no, I have to talk about it, don't I? Basically, we do some coaching and then the guy has mock dates and then we guide him through all of that process. One of the things that we teach in here is having genuine interest into her life, because what you need to do when you have the first interaction, you can do this on a first date, doesn't have to be with a matchmaker or anything like that. When you have an interaction with a woman, you want her to go away from that interaction and think to herself, I've never had anyone ask me those questions before. I've never thought about that before. What an interesting guy that guy was. And that's what you have to do. And it's all about making her feel interesting. And it's about going deeper on the levels of conversation. She's a nurse, for example. Why did she become a nurse? How does she feel when she's helping those children? What made her as a child want to be in it? Maybe there's something. For some reason, there is some feeling that she has when she does that job, and that's the reason that she chose to do that job. And there's something there. And if you can tap into these emotions that she has, maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's riding horses, maybe it's, feeding ducks. Doesn't matter. Maybe it's making bread. Hopefully it's making bread. And once you get to those other levels and she's talking about these, why she does the things that she does and how she got to that point and things that she is proud of, she'll go away from that conversation. And maybe even at the start of the conversation, there wasn't a huge attraction. But if you give her a conversation like no other man has given before, she's going to go, that man is interesting. I felt good talking to him. I thought about things. What an interesting guy. That's the key. That's the secret to it. All these guys in the comments, just have heaps of money and a woman, you'll get a Ukrainian woman. So not if you're boring, you won't.
Money doesn't solve the problems. Trust
not
me.
If you're boring.
I even spoke yesterday with one girl, and she was also her conversation started I want men, she's making good money, and I want men to make money. I said, okay, first of all, men, and she said but I achieved so much, I did this. I said, man doesn't care how much money you have. This is number one. And number two is that think about that. He may have a lot of money, but he will be super boring. He would be not caring, not loving, not interesting, nothing. Would you be with this man? She said, no, of course no. I said, so it's not related. But if you feel that, if you look at yourself in the mirror and you feel that something is missing in your life, and you may think, oh, I'm just missing a partner. Trust me, partner will bring you another layer of kind of like problems,
complexity to your life.
to your life.
And if you're not ready for it, yeah.
So you need to be happy with yourself. You need to be happy with being able to travel by yourself. It's a big, I am, Striker is better at that. Like he can travel by himself. I do not really like doing that. Like I always need like, not somebody like, it's difficult, and I'm learning that. And I recently done it by myself when I felt like, wow, the whole time just for me. Because we spoke about this with you, and you said like, you don't need to think like, oh, the other person want to eat, or the other person doesn't want to go, loses something, doesn't like have a headache, doesn't want to go, doesn't want to go to this excursion, but you do want. And I experienced that, like my mentality also changed. So it's good, it's also tells about your level of matureness if you're able to travel by yourself, not waiting until somebody will arrange it for you, not waiting until somebody will, complement that, and just do it because you are interested.
So this is the whole being interesting part. It sort of is underneath one other part. And the other part, as we've spoken about so many times before, about being a leader in a relationship and having a woman follow and walk beside you or behind you, phrase it how you want. That is the most important part. But that can't be faked. You have to believe it within yourself, in your core, and it takes a little bit of time to get there. So that's why we, sometimes some of the guys that sign up, they pay the deposit, but they have access to all of our courses and everything, and they start working on themselves so that when they get to this point here, when they're going to start doing the dating, they've already done level up or they've done some coaching, and they understand what it is exactly that they need to do in order to take care of a woman. They have to understand this, otherwise it really doesn't work. There's so many issues, and I always say this in all of the videos, many of the videos, if you do it correctly, you'll come out the man at the end of this process, the man that you wish you were at the start. And I fully stand by that. I understand this very well.
And the minimum thing that you can do for yourself is like to get in shape, to eat better, to do more sport, to sleep more. It's like the baseline that you should do for yourself every day, not for women. Because we do have like some guys who like I did an survey, like when I ask on our Telegram group. By the way, if you're not a member of Telegram, please join. It's a very interesting community, free community where we discuss different stuff. Guys can chat and got more opinion and advice from other guys, our clients, not clients, and it's the fastest way to reach out to me and Striker. So the link in the description below. But there I ask like, why are you not joining, for example, our Zoom parties, right? And so 3 or 4 guys message and say, like in the private messages, they said, oh, I need to get in shape. And I said, are you doing something? Oh, not yet. Like I'm planning to do it like sometime soon. So what is holding you off? Like what holding you off from making the best version of yourself? That won't hurt, no matter will you be with a woman or no. But being interesting and making her feel interesting, it's like how the conversation can go. Because this first communication, we talk about messaging, right? You have a first call and then you message. To make a trip, for someone, it's like somebody is a little bit more easygoing and they said, yeah, okay, let's meet in 2-3 months. For somebody, it can be for both parties. It can be from the guy party when he say like, Luba, I need to get to know this woman much, much better until I will make my plan to travel. Maybe because of money, maybe because of the time availability, most of the time because of that. And so he's saying that I need to get to know her better. And it takes like 3, 4, 5 months and the lady literally losing interest. Or the lady say, I don't know about this guy. I'm not sure yet. I want to see how he's in communication. And the guy wants to come and meet, but the lady is a little bit like holding off. So that's why it's super interesting to make the conversation and communication interesting. And one of the advice like I want to share with you here, we was planning to do it for a stand, but I feel that I want to share. Can I? Mm-hmm. Idea. So not my idea, like it was Striker's idea at the beginning, long time ago, about like having a dinner date. But this guy just went.
He went. He leveled it up.
We didn't think about that. I don't know, so many years. So he messaged me today and he said like, Luba, can you please help me I want to have a date night with this lady online, but can you help me to order food for her? We never thought about that. For me, it was always like he's cooking something, she's making something, they sit in front of like maybe with a glass of wine or something. But he actually want to order the same food for himself and for her, and they like, and how, I can't even imagine if like somebody would do that to me, like how impressive would be this woman, like how she would be surprised that it's the same happening when the guy's ordering flowers with a vase. I always recommend to order it in a basket. because like maybe somebody doesn't have a vase. In Ukraine, they do not have the culture like in US when you get flowers in a vase. But some guys manage to do that, to order that with a vase, and the ladies are mesmerized. Like they just, what? He was thinking about getting me like in US it's a custom, that's why like guys know about that. But if you think about that, it's incredible. The same with the food. And so he said like, Luba, what would you recommend me to order? And I said, sushi looks good on the like during delivery, but also we discussed with him, and look at this, like it's a next level even of cariness. He said she likes Italian food, and I was thinking if you just order pizza, it can be cold, it's not that like romantic. If you're sitting together watching movie, eating pizza, it's fine.
Unless it's that heart-shaped one.
Oh, it's right.
Only an extra €3.
Yeah, and. I still don't understand your comment there. But anyway, and then I said, okay, so find out what is your favorite restaurant in the city, and I will help you to make the delivery from there. Don't tell her that this is for dinner. Don't tell her that you're arranging some surprise. Just ask her, you like Italian food. What is your favorite restaurant in the city? I'm wondering to see. I want to see the interior, whatever. And I will help him. I will call to this restaurant, like this lady particularly in Ukraine. I will call there and I will ask and I will arrange that delivery. I am excited. Like I can't imagine how she will be excited and how much her interest will grow in him, because she will understand that this man is not boring and he's very thoughtful.
Yeah, at the start of the video, maybe you thought, well, this is too difficult. But let me just give you an example that is so incredibly pleb-like, idiotic-like, that anybody can do this. You do not have to be a genius. You don't need to be a genius to figure these things out. One of the things we talk about is solving problems.
We didn't think about this for 14 years. I never came up with this idea.
Well, yeah, that's true. We didn't. But it's as simple as that, right? So we talk about being a problem solver, and it's not necessarily that there has to be a problem that is directly in front of your face and you need to fix it. Something is broken. I need to understand how this works so I can glue it back together. It's just thinking to yourself, it's getting not very interesting in our conversations. It's going down a little bit. How can I solve this problem? What can I do? There's a plugin, I think, for like Chrome, and you can watch a Netflix movie together if you've got Netflix. So you can do that as well. But all it is that you're trying to do interesting things. Otherwise, what is she doing on Saturday night? She's going to watch TV. Okay, well, let's watch a movie together. I have a Netflix account. We can share the account. Right?
You need to be creative, and with nowadays it's like I was talking to someone like we were talking about the internet and stuff, and in Ukraine, like when I was at school, I don't know how you guys I'm like a dinosaur, but we didn't have internet until I was, I don't know, maybe 13 or whatever.
We didn't even have school chairs.
But anyway, and I was looking for everything in the huge book. I go to the library, and oh my God, to write some report, it was so difficult. Nowadays, you click ChatGPT. Like last night, I can't sleep, and I created a guide for women. With the help. I also been creative, but it's just 3 seconds. So if you can't find any ideas, there's so many ideas online. There's you can't say I don't know what to do. You can't. You just literally have no rights to say that. There's so many ideas. Ask ChatGPT and ask her until you get the satisfaction. Maybe her ideas or his ideas, depends on who you have, like Chatichka or Chatichko. Just ask until you find something that is close to you, nothing extraordinary, nothing that is against your beliefs and willingness to do. It's not that you need to go and do pear tattoo, in the same day, but something like ordering food. It's incredible.
A lot of guys, we see these in the comments. We've had messages, emails, talk to guys who have tried doing this Ukraine dating thing by themselves, and they say that the Ukrainian women, they're unemotionless and they're hard to have conversations with. And for some part, I think that is true, but it's really easy to get them out of that.
Excuse me?
It really is easy for them to get out of that shell. It's just that you just have to be interesting enough for them to pay attention. That's it. So if you've been dating women and they're not responsive to you, it's not them, it's you. And you have to be better than other guys that may have dated her in the past. Make her feel more interesting. She'll think you're interesting. One thing leads to another.
And we see the next one.
See you later.